this SAP HANA, and what are all the interfaces that we can have, and moreover, what are all the things that we need to do in this particular curriculum. That part we are going to see in this particular session today. Okay. So whenever you are having any question, okay, please stop me there itself. Okay, make sure that you get that particular concept clear before proceeding to the next one here. Okay. Okay. Let me tell you, HANA is nothing but an acronym which stands for High Performance Analytical Appliance. High Performance Analytical Appliance. Okay, so when we talk about something called as an appliance, it is nothing but a chip that contains hardware and software combination. Okay, so that means that you're having a chip, okay, that contains multiple core processors. Okay, that is basically used to implement massive parallel processing. Okay, along with the HANA database installed on that particular chip. Along with the HANA database installed on that particular chip. That's why what we do is that we call HANA as an appliance basically. Okay, which is nothing but an hardware and software fabricated on a particular chip, what we call basically. Okay, now one more thing. Why should we use this particular SAP HANA? Okay, so one very straight answer what we can give is that HANA is nothing but an in-memory computing database. Okay, when we call SAP HANA as an in-memory computing database, where it resides is it resides within SAP RAM. It resides within SAP RAM. Sorry, it resides within RAM. Okay, it resides within the main memory basically. So having said that it resides within the main memory, let me tell you the differences between the traditional databases along with this in-memory computing databases. Okay, when we talk about the traditional databases like your SAP RB3 or SAP BW or Oracle databases, SQL Server, Sybase, Netezza, Teradata, these are all the databases that resides within the secondary storage. Okay. When this database resides within the secondary storage, and when you want to retrieve that particular information, first what we need to do is that we need to bring the data from the secondary storage into the primary storage. Okay, and once your data comes into the primary storage, then only we can try to do the reporting or whatever it is concerned. So that means that there is a time lag that is used to bring the data from the secondary storage into the primary storage. Okay, but 1 minute. But HANA is something that resides within the primary storage itself. HANA is something that resides within the RAM itself. Okay, so when you have the data that is there in your RAM, there is a considerable increase or else an exponential increase with respect to the way you try to process the data and then use that data for the purpose of reporting and analysis. So that's why having your HANA existing within the in-memory or in your main memory, what you can have is that you can have your data existing within your RAM, having some terabytes of data space so that any type of reporting, whether you want to do, whether it is an operational reporting or else whether it is an analytical reporting, such type of reporting can be directly done without compromising on the performance or else without compromising on the processing speed basically. That's why HANA stands ahead of this particular traditional databases basically. Okay, Swati and Veda, is it clear to you what is the main difference between the traditional databases and in-memory computing basically?
Yeah.
Okay, so HANA is something which exists within that particular in-memory computing here. Okay, now when you have your HANA existing within the RAM or in the main memory, okay, first of all, for any particular database when you are having what exactly we need to do as a part of that one, let us try to see here basically. Okay. The first thing what we are supposed to have is that I had told you that HANA is nothing but an in-memory computing database. Okay. HANA is an in-memory computing database. 1 minute. Okay. And second thing what we have seen is that we have seen what exactly HANA is used to do. HANA is used to store the data for the purpose of analytical reporting, okay, which is used to process near real-time data. What do you mean by near real-time data? Anybody can say what is this near real-time data? Any idea whether what is this near real-time data? Sorry? Near real-time data means whenever your transactions or whenever your DML operations are committed within the database, immediately what we can do is that that particular information is available for reporting and analysis. Okay, such type of data is called as the near real-time data. That is a minute ago or 10 minutes, 15 minutes ago, whenever the transaction is completed in the database, that particular data, if you want to utilize it for reporting and analysis, then what we do is that we use that particular process as the near real-time data in this particular case. Okay, so that is what is this near real-time data here. So basically, with respect to this HANA, what you're going to have is that we are going to talk about three separate components here. Okay, first component what you are going to have is that we talk about the sources. So when we talk about these particular sources, this is the place where your original data resides. Okay, and here you're going to talk about something called as the HANA database here. This is what is your HANA database. This is what is your HANA database. Okay, and more importantly, there is one more layer that you're going to use. Okay, and that layer is nothing but the reporting layer, what we call here, reporting layer. This is what is your reporting layer here. So just I'm trying to give you a overview, okay, in order to make sure that you are comfortable with respect to this SAP HANA environment basically, okay. Okay, you have the sources, you have the HANA database, as well as you have this reporting layer. Okay, and one more thing I told you, right, whenever you are learning these particular concepts, there are two things that you need to understand here. Okay, first thing is that you need to make sure that you are technically competent, okay, of working with the migration of data from the different source systems into this particular SAP HANA database. That is one thing. So that means that technically you need to be competent, okay, and second thing is that functionally also you need to be aware of how exactly you can try to use this particular HANA database for the purpose of implementing this different reporting and analysis here. So within this particular SAP HANA landscape, what you're going to have is that you're going to have different types of sources we are going to use here basically. Okay, two sources what we'll be using is that we'll be using SAP sources, okay, along with we'll be using this non-SAP sources also. SAP along with non-SAP sources we can use. Okay, and when we talk about this particular SAP sources, let me tell you what are the sources we can use is that we can use SAP ECC as the source. Okay, we are going to use SAP BA as the source. Okay, and with respect to non-SAP we can use the normal OLTP systems. Okay, and from non-SAP you can also have the option of using OLAP systems also as the sources. Okay, the main difference is that SAP ECC contains the transactional data, whereas this SAP BA contains this analytical data that can be used for the purpose of reporting and analysis. So that means that your SAP HANA is having the capability of connecting to different types of databases, for the purpose of procuring that particular data into this SAP HANA database. Okay, once you have your data in this particular SAP HANA, then what we can do is that we can use the reporting layer of SAP. What is the reporting layer of SAP you are having here? Right now, the industry supports only 3 types of reporting components. The first thing is that we can start using SAP Business Objects as one of the reporting tools on which you can try to create the queries and reports on that one. Okay, and second thing is that we can use Crystal Reports as another tool. And third thing is we can also use this MS Excel as the third tool for the purpose of using these 3 components as the client for the purpose of querying the information in this particular database for the purpose of implementing this reporting and analysis. Okay, so that is the reason what we can say is that your SAP HANA landscape contains 3 major components. One is your SAP HANA database, second one is your source systems, and third one is your reporting layer. I'm seeing the things while system is hanging. Oh my god. No problem, Swati, and we'll meet once your systems or issues are resolved. Okay.
Okay.
Are you good now? Hello?
Yes, it's like kind of maybe I'm hearing your voice after a certain period of time. Like when you speak, it comes to me after a certain period of time.
Is it the same case with Veda, Rashmi and Anand also, or else you can hear me clearly?
It's fine.
Okay, fine.
It's fine for me, Surya.
Okay, thank you.
Surya, I may restart my system and then reconnect if it is possible.
It's not at all a problem. Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. Okay.
So these are the things what you are going to have here. We are going to have the sources classified into OLTP systems and OLAP systems. Okay, under the OLAP systems, SAP OLAP systems, you have SAP BA as the source, and under your OLTP systems, so you have SAP ECC as the source here, where your data resides. Now, what I want to do is that I want to bring that particular information out of those particular systems into this SAP HANA database. Okay, once my data brings into this comes into this SAP HANA database, then I want to use these reporting tools, which is nothing but your SAP BO, Crystal Reports or MS Excel, which can query the information in this particular SAP HANA database and use this information for the purpose of reporting and analysis. So that's why in SAP HANA, whenever you are learning this particular course, you will not only be focused on the technical aspects, you will be not only be focused on the reporting aspects, but you will be focusing on the modeling aspects of your database also. 3 things you will be focusing here: how to get the data, how to store the data, and then how to utilize this particular data. I want to keep the things very simple and short here. Okay, you need to understand how to create this HANA database with respect to the modeling aspects. You need to understand how to bring the data into this SAP HANA database using the data replication aspects. And once you get your data into this SAP HANA database, then you need to understand how we are going to utilize this particular information for the purpose of reporting and analysis. 3 things we are going to see here. So once again, when we come on to this particular slide here, I told you, right, an appliance for processing high volumes of transactional data in real time. I really don't say it is a real time, but it is nothing but a near real time basically. Okay, why? Because there is some latency that exists when your transactions are completed in your database, okay, and the data that arrives into this particular SAP HANA. Okay, and one more thing is that it includes the tools for data modeling, okay, lifecycle management and security also. Okay, provides support for multiple interfaces and industry standards basically. Okay, first of all, let me tell you what are all the technology innovations that have been come so far. Okay. First thing, let me tell you, when I was telling you something like HANA is a software appliance, okay, where your HANA database is fabricated on a chip with multi-core architecture. What happens here is that we really don't depend on the tape, we really don't depend on the disk, but what we do is that we try to depend on the RAM itself. Within the RAM, what we do is that we try to create this in-memory computing database. Within the RAM, we can create this in-memory computing database, okay, and using this particular in-memory computing database, we can have the option of storing the data at the lowest granular level without no aggregations at all, no summarizations at all, so that the data can be reported at any level of summarization. The data can be reported at any level of summarization.
Stop! Mama is on a meeting. Mama is on a conference call.
Okay. The data can be supported at any levels of summarization in this particular case here. So that's why now what is the technology that you are having here is generally whatever the RAM what we use in our systems is going to be something like maximum 8 GB or 10 GB at any point of time, right? Maximum 8 GB or 10 GB at this point of time. But in the real time, when you use SAP HANA, we can have the RAM, okay, that can be existing with up to some 2 terabytes or 10 terabytes in size for the purpose of dumping all the data what is there in your hard disk into the primary RAM. Okay, once your data is there in the primary RAM, you can imagine how fast or how sooner your response time might be for the purpose of reporting and analysis. Do you agree with me, Anand? Anand, do you agree with me? When your data is stored within RAM, what happens is you can have a wonderful amount of fantastic performance with respect to your reporting and analysis basically, right? Veda or Rashmi, do you agree with me?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, thank you. So this is what is the technology evolution that we are going to have, and HANA as a database is going to utilize this particular technology evolution where the entire advanced technology what you are having here is going to be fabricated on the hardware, and we are going to use this one. Okay, and one more thing is that yeah, there is a second thing. Now let me tell you here. HANA basically comes up with different versions. I told you earlier. It comes up with the platform edition, it comes up with the enterprise edition, and then it comes up with the extended edition also basically. Extended edition. Okay, so let me try to run through the various components what you are having here so that you can understand. Obviously, you are having something called as this tool. What is this one here? SAP Business Objects Data Services. Okay, let me tell you, SAP Business Objects Data Services is nothing but an ETL tool. There is nothing but the extract, transform, and load tool that is used to extract the data from the different source systems. Okay, transform the data into a consistent form. And then it is used to load the data into the SAP HANA database. So let me try to give you a simple screenshot, okay, how exactly this data migration is supposed to happen. Okay. expected to happen here basically. You can understand here from current slide. See here, these are all your different legacy systems. These are all your different legacy systems what you are having here. Why? Because your data might be there in the different flat files. Your data might be there in the different flat files, databases, applications, and XML and other databases basically. Okay, and what is my target? My target is I want to bring the data into this SAP HANA database. For that particular purpose, I want to use an intermediate layer, okay, where I can store the extracted data. So that layer what you are having here is nothing but the staging layer what we call here. That layer is called as the staging layer. So whether the staging layer what you are having here is something like the ODS or DSO in the case of SAP BA, okay. ODS or DSO in the case of SAP BA. So what we generally do is that we try to use this staging layer for the purpose of extracting the data. Okay. Once we extract this particular data, what obviously happens is your data is inconsistent. Okay. Then what we generally do is that we'll try to cleanse this data, massage the data, or else we try to transform the data for the purpose of converting your inconsistent form into the consistent form here. Inconsistent form into the consistent form. That is the place where we are trying to cleanse this particular data. Okay. Once your data is cleansed, then what I do is that I'll try to transform the data into the SAP structure. The reason why I want to transform the data is, let me tell you, the data from which you are getting, okay, as well as the data in which you need to load are totally different in nature. When I say they are different in nature, okay, here you may be following the transactional concepts like master tables and transaction tables, but in the case of OLAP, we may be following the concepts like dimension tables and fact tables, the star schemas. This particular concept will be following. So that's why, that is the reason I need to transform that particular data into the SAP consistent structures, okay, before we need to load the data into this SAP system. Okay, so we'll be using different types of formats for the purpose of bringing the data from all these particular systems into this SAP. So that's why what we can say is that SAP BODS is nothing but an data migration tool which is basically used to replicate the data from the different source systems which are of SAP and non-SAP into the target system basically. So this is what is SAP BODS, Business Objects Data Services here. So that particular tool we will be using here. Okay, and one more thing here is that actually for the purpose of getting the data from the different types of systems here, let me show you here. For the purpose of getting the data from the different systems into this SAP HANA database, we use three types of methodologies. Okay, those types of methodologies are also called as the replication methodologies. Those types of methodologies are also called as the replication methodologies, and SAP supports the three types of replications. One is log-based replication, second one is your ETL-based replication, and third one is your trigger-based replication. Trigger-based replication. Okay. For the purpose of this log-based replication, what we do is that we depend on the Sybase technology. Okay. And for the purpose of this trigger-based replication, what we do is that we depend on the SAP technology. Okay. SAP provides a replication server which is called as the LT server. Stands for Landscape Transform Server, for the purpose of bringing the data from the SAP ERP systems into this SAP HANA database. Okay, and log-based replication depends on Sybase replication server for bringing the data from the SAP systems into this HANA database, and the ETL-based replication depends on the business objects data services for the purpose of bringing the data into this SAP HANA database. So that means that what we need to do is That means that what we need to do is, in order to bring the data from the different sources into this SAP HANA database, we are having three types of methodologies that exist. One is trigger based, second one is ETL based, and third one is the log based replications. So once we go back and check this particular place, you can understand here SAP Business Objects Data Services. Okay, and one more thing is that you're having this one as LT replication add-on and LT replication server. Okay, this is nothing but the trigger-based replication that we use for the purpose of bringing the data from the SAP ECC system into this SAP HANA database. And similarly, you're having these three things here. What are the things here? Sybase replication server, replication server agent, and HANA load controller, which are basically used to populate the data with the help of this particular log-based replication. So that's why different types of platforms, that is the platform version, enterprise version, and the extended version is having the different types of features that we are having. Okay, and even in the in our course curriculum, what we are going to do is that we are going to see all the types of replication methodologies, especially focusing on this business objects data services. How exactly you are going to migrate the data from the different SAP platform into this SAP HANA database. We are going to see in this particular case. Okay, any questions on this one? Data replication. What is the purpose of the data replication, and how many methodologies are existing, and what does this data replication do? Veda, is it clear to you? Excuse me. How about Rashmi?
Yes.
If you are having any questions, please let me know.
Hi, Surya.
Yeah, hi Anand. Tell me.
Surya, in this curriculum, after we learning this SAP HANA tutorial, what will be our role in the real-time functionality? In this class, are we going to learn the SQL query also to retrieve the information, or how?
Yeah. See,
because I am from the functional background.
Okay. So here you are seeing here, right? You are having two components called as one is SAP HANA database, and second thing is that SAP HANA Studio you are having here. Okay, these are the two things from which, okay, you are going to learn a lot of detail on SQL for the purpose of querying the information present in SAP HANA database. Okay, so that particular part is going to be done with the help of this SAP HANA client, HANA Studio, along with this particular SAP HANA database. We are going to see that SQL part also in this particular case, okay. And
Okay.
and one more question you have asked is, in case if I do this particular course, what would be my next steps? You are asking. Okay. Rashmi, please don't mind. Like I'm hearing a bit of disturbance from your side. Okay. Can you please try to mute yourself in case if you don't mind?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. So once you complete this particular HANA course curriculum, okay, you may be interested to play three types of roles. Okay, if your previous experience is there in database programming and all, okay, then here what you can do is that you can have a chance to focus on the modeling aspects with respect to the database. So that's why what are all the features what you are seeing here, right from SAP HANA database, HANA Studio, SAP HANA Information Composer, this particular part will be focusing much basically making you to work on the SAP HANA database itself with respect to modeling. Anand. Okay. And second thing is that in case if your background like Veda is from technical background where she has already worked in SAP BI, then what we can do is that we can focus on the replication methodologies. That means that having your data in the different types of systems, okay, how exactly I can try to replicate the data into this SAP HANA, okay, so which is going to be a pure technical module. The technical module we are going to focus in this particular case, okay. And one more thing is that if Rashmi, I do understand this is coming from Anand. Okay, and especially people who are from functional background, okay, if they have worked on the reporting tools in the past, like BEX, Business Explorer, Cognos, Crystal Reports or Business Objects, then what they can do is that they can showcase the experience with respect to the reporting piece, okay, and then they can claim the experience and then they can start working as the report developers basically. That way also you can have a considerable amount of experience to be given from your reporting point of view. Those are the three ways, and those people who are there in this, industry for some long time, like 8 years or 10 years in SAP and non-SAP space, okay, then what they can do is that they can try to focus themselves as SAP HANA architects. Okay, when I call these particular people as SAP HANA architect, what does it mean is that they do carry a lot of expertise in the modeling aspects. They do carry a lot of expertise in the reporting aspects along with the ETL aspects also. That means that they will be the people who are responsible for the purpose of taking the ownership on the entire roadmap of your SAP HANA. Those people are called as the SAP architects. So that's why, in case if you can see this particular slide here, Rashmi, you are able to see this particular slide, right? Yeah, in this piece you can understand, you can play the role of an ETL architect, okay, you can play the role as a business process owner or analyst using business objects, and third thing is that you can also play the role of an information modeler, okay, working with SQL and modeling aspects of your SAP HANA Studio basically. Okay, so that's why profiles are multiple, skill set is multiple, and the job requirement is also multiple. And if you are able to focus on this particular SAP HANA roadmap, okay, then what happens is that you can plan for a persistent career and a prominent career in the case of SAP HANA basically. And this particular course is going to deal with all the three types of aspects here: modeling, ETL, along with the reporting piece basically. Any questions so far? So Rashmi, you told that it is a bit faster now. Now you are comfortable? Okay, thanks. I think somebody hesitated. That was the reason I was asking something. Okay. This is the platform we are going to work here. Okay. Now, let me try to introduce the different components of this SAP HANA appliance so that you need to be comfortable, okay, while working from tomorrow onwards, how exactly you are going to fine-tune these particular activities here. Okay. First thing is that let me tell you the source systems. Okay. Source systems are the place where your data originally resides. Okay, and let me tell you, the source systems can be classified into two types. One is OLTP systems, and second type of systems are nothing but the OLAP systems. Okay, and HANA is nothing but a HANA is a database that is not only suited for OLTP, but it is also well suited for OLAP. Okay, that's why what we can say is that HANA is nothing but an hybrid component, what we can call here, hybrid component. Hybrid database, what we call, that can have the capability of accommodating both the OLTP piece along with the OLAP piece, okay, for the purpose of doing this reporting and analysis basically. Okay, and second thing is that these are all the different source systems what we are having here, and in between we are going to have the different types of replications what we are going to use here. Replications, told you right? These replications are basically aimed at migrating the data from the different source systems into this SAP HANA database. Okay, so we'll see three types of replication as I have told you. One is a BODS ETL replication, SAP landscape transform, which is nothing but your SLT replication, and third one is your Sybase data replication, which is nothing but the log based replication. So all these aspects we are going to see. Okay, once your data comes into this one, let me tell you, there are two things here. One is nothing but your SAP HANA Studio, which is basically used for modeling aspects along with the administration aspects. It is going to be used here, SAP HANA Studio. So Anand, I think your question can be answered here. What we are going to have is that we are going to have both the SQL and MDX, multi-dimensional expressions that we use to query the information present in your SAP system, HANA system, for creating your reports and analysis. Okay. Otherwise, we are going to use this SAP business objects, okay, that can be used to query the information in this SAP HANA database using crystal reports and SAP business objects. That particular part also we are going to see in this particular course curriculum. And this is what is your database engine, which contains so many types of things here. We need to understand what is a row store, we need to understand what is the column store, we need to understand what is the planning engine and the calculation engine. These things we need to understand, okay, for the purpose of doing these particular activities. Okay, so as I have told you, this HANA architecture or your HANA course curriculum is going to be classified into 3 modules, right? So I will be sharing you the course content, okay, as well as I will also be sharing you the duration of this particular course and the various practical aspects that you need to focus on, okay, and the various types of profiles or the skill set that you can expect of this particular SAP HANA course. All these things I'll be sharing you very shortly, might be possibly today itself, so that tomorrow once we come back, what we do is that we'll try to have a small touch base on the concepts what has been seen today, and then we can start slowly going into this particular subject. Okay. So any questions you are having, you are welcome. I'm sorry that I joined a bit late. I was not knowing basically. So tomorrow the classes starts at 7 o'clock AM sharp, and then it ends at 8 o'clock AM sharp. Okay. So are you guys comfortable? Anand, Rashmi and Veda?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So I thank you very much for joining this particular session. Okay. And tomorrow onwards, what we do is that we'll try to be on our toes, okay, and making sure that you start working on this particular SAP HANA. Practical aspects, it may take a bit of time, but until and unless till the point of time you are comfortable with this particular basic technology and everything, what you need to do is that you need to at least devote some 1 hour of time on a regular basis to make sure that you get updated with respect to this HANA concepts. Yes, 7 to 8 AM, Rashmi. Is this timing okay with you? 7 to 8. Yeah. How about Veda? Veda, you are from Bangalore. I think this time is okay.
It is fine for me.
Fine.
It's fine for me.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and then make sure that we'll start from 7 o'clock tomorrow, and then make sure what are all the concepts, the course content and everything will be shared to you, and we'll follow it accordingly. Okay. Thank you so much for attending this particular session, and I wish you a great day and good night.
Yeah, thank you, Surya. Surya, is there any installation required to learn this at home for SAP?
No, installation you can't dream. It will be a nightmare basically. Why? Because we need some 32 to 64 GB RAM, okay, for the purpose of this particular installation. But what we do is that we'll be providing you the access, okay, so that you can logging into that particular system using the remote desktop, and then you can start working on that one, okay. That way. Installation is a very tough affair here basically.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thanks, Surya. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Yeah, thank you so much guys. Okay.